Happy Monday. Welcome to another edition of 3 Point Stance presented by Mountain Dew. Meghan, Triplett, John Roser with you. Oh, look at him. Got to get a drink. Are you ready?
I'm ready to go.
We got a lot to talk about.
I went to the gym this morning. I'm good. Let's go. Let's roll.
He is so amped. All right, let's first start with the Masters. This is my moment where I'm just going to sit back and give it to you. I watched a little bit of it, but I didn't follow it as much as you did.
Yeah, it was pretty uneventful. Hideki Matsuyama, the rain came on. The leaderboard was crowded on Saturday, and then the rain came, and Hideki Matsuyama came out after the rain delay, and the greens totally softened up, and he just went 6 under on the back 9 and had a 4-shot lead going into Sunday. Xander Schauffele made it interesting for a little bit. He birdied 4 straight on the back 9. But I always tell people, I talked to Jessica Vincent about it, your co-host on Rise and Grind, and when people always ask me, what do you bet on in the major golf tournaments, I say you bet Xander Schauffele to finish top 10, and you bet Xander Schauffele to finish top 20, because that dude always finishes there in majors. This is like the second straight year I think he's finished second or third. It's the second or third straight year he's finished top 5, I think, at the Masters. But Hideki Matsuyama wins, the first male Japanese golfer to win a major golf tournament in the United States. And the first time he's won on tour in 4 years. He's a really good golfer. He just hadn't won in a couple years. I heard on the Golf Channel yesterday morning, I was watching pre-Masters coverage, and one of the guys said this could be, if he holds on and wins, it can be $1 billion win for him. And the reason that golf is huge in Japan. It is a massive, massive deal in Japan. Females in Japan have won major tournaments on the LPGA Tour, but males never won a major tournament from Japan on the PGA Tour. That changed yesterday with Hideki Matsuyama. That guy is going to be a legend in that country forever, for the rest of his life. Endorsement deals out the you-know-what that guy is going to get. So it was a big deal for Japan. It's a big deal for golf worldwide. It's going to have a huge impact worldwide in golf, especially in the country of Japan. We won't see it for years to come, but there are going to be a lot more youngsters over in that country that are going to start playing golf because they're going to look up and saw what Hideki Matsuyama did. Also, an amazing name. Hideki Matsuyama is an awesome name. Hideki Matsuyama, you better call your mama. Congratulations on being 2021 Masters champion.
I love it. I love a history moment, and it was special to see. And I think he could be a legend in any country and just really around the world if he can kind of continue this up. And this is only the beginning for him and his career. Really quickly about the Masters, I got to ask you about the Masters updates. You're a part of it on the Chris Vernon show. When you think about your updates and how many people watched this year, every year it gets bigger and better. What was your take on just y'all's overall performance?
I thought Friday was better than Thursday. Obviously, the highlights were Max Homa, who was playing in the Masters, tweeting to us, and then the other one would be Tommy Fleetwood, who is also playing in the Masters, tweeting to us. Both of those guys you will see later this summer at the WGC FedEx St. Jude Invitational out at TPC Southwind. Both of those guys will be here. Tommy Fleetwood's been one of those guys that he's mentioned as he's one of the better players that's never won a major tournament. He's gotten close. He finished second at the U.S. Open a couple of years ago when he lost to Brooks Koepka. But no, I think that was the highlight. From the beginning of the week, Brooks Koepka tweeting us to then Max Homa and Tommy Fleetwood. And Scott Van Pelt apparently said on SportsCenter, I didn't get to see it because I wasn't home, but he said at the end, and that's what's going on at Augusta. So shout out to Scott Van Pelt. It was awesome to see all the people that really enjoy it, because that's all we want to do is have fun. It's kind of like our little Happy Gilmore take on golf, liven it up.
Well, next up will be Masters updates on the road. I would love to see that, as maybe you guys can perform it in Augusta, or you can take it.
I don't know if the Masters will let us do that.
Across the parking lot, maybe. It might be too much noise. Yeah. All right. Let's talk about the Memphis Grizzlies. They did play twice this weekend, and the last game that they played was on Sunday night against the Indiana Pacers, where they dropped that game and lost on Friday night to the New York Knicks. So now we're on this 2-game losing streak, but they had a great road trip last week, and you think about the Grizzlies and what they've been able to do. We had a history night on Sunday, whereas Jonas Valanciunas' performance, he had 34 points, 22 rebounds. We had a franchise high 88 points in the paint, 30 second chance point. A lot of things happened, but it still resulted in a loss. But the Grizzlies today
also took 115 shots. The funniest thing about all of that, we never led in the game. We never had the lead, despite all of those records that we set in a historic night from Valanciunas. Look, small picture, you should not have lost the New York game. You gave that game away. You also, what happened to you in New York, you almost pulled on Indiana yesterday, because Indiana would have had no business losing that game, and that is one that they'd be kicking themselves at the end of the year had they lost that game. You gave up 2 big offensive rebounds late to Malcolm Brogdon and TJ McConnell. You did everything you needed to get the stop. The last part of getting the stop is getting the rebound, and the Grizzlies weren't able to get the rebound. Then Josh slips and falls. Desmond Bane loses the ball driving to the basket, loses the ball out of bounds. Again, small picture, you shouldn't have lost the Knicks game. And then yesterday, just horrible in the first quarter. The Pacers dictated everything. Big picture, you went 3-1 on the road trip, and you're still right there in the hunt to play in you're still right there, and you're going to play, and most likely you play in one of the play-in games, and you're getting Jaren Jackson Jr. back soon. But you need a better showing tonight against Chicago. Zach LaVine is not one to mess around with. They also have Vucevic, Gucci Mane now. Those two guys are both all-stars, and they're all-stars for a reason. Zach LaVine over the weekend, I think it was Friday night, dropped 39 points in the first half of a game. So we know he can fill it up. So I would imagine Dylan Brooks is going to have that assignment tonight, and he's going to have to stick him. I thought yesterday towards the end of the game, not being able to get those rebounds, I thought that really, really that highlighted where they missed DeAnthony Melton, because DeAnthony is great at rebounding his position. And I did think they missed him at the end of the game last night, because he took Grayson out and he went with Desmond Bane. I think that would have been a situation where Melton probably would have come in.
Yeah, we did get an update before the game last night about DeAnthony Melton and Justice Winslow. They're still day-to-day. Coach Jenkins does expect Justice Winslow to come back later this week. And DeAnthony Melton, there's no exact timeline on that. But for tonight and in those 2 losses, it's going to be about pace, how the Grizzlies start. They had a slow start in the Pacers game. Were able to come back. But for the Grizzlies, they want to play that complete full 48 minutes basketball, what we saw on this road trip. And can they continue this as they stay home tonight and then also play on Wednesday against the Dallas Mavericks? All right, for our last stance, this is big for the state of Tennessee and my TSU Tigers. Eddie George is reportedly going to be the next head coach at Tennessee State. Eddie George does not have any coaching experience, but you know who Eddie George is, former Heisman winner, Ohio State great, and Titans great, who stayed in Nashville, has a home in Nashville, has gone back to TSU several times throughout many various years. He's already got a staff of former NFL players in Price and Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie, who are volunteer coaches right now. But this is starting a trend of bringing a lot of high-profile former players or coaches to HBCUs. And now we're all talking about the Southern Heritage Classic, where we could very well see Deion Sanders go up against Eddie George. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be fun.
No, it's absolutely going to be fun. The Southern Heritage Classic just got a million times. It's already a sold-out event, and it's always a wild weekend in Memphis. It just got even more exciting with having those two guys on the sidelines for it going forward.
Yeah, I'm really excited for what Eddie George can do, especially when it comes to recruiting for TSU. I think that's where we're going to see Eddie George shine. And, yeah, there's a lot of questions about, can he fit into his head coaching role? He doesn't have, like, a history tied to TSU. TSU normally sticks with guys who either went to TSU, family went to TSU, but they've got an athletic director in Mickey Allen who has that family history. Yes, he went to Tennessee, but since he's been in office in his athletic director role within the year, they've made a lot of big moves. And for TSU, big shout out to Rod Reed and everything that he did there for many years. He was a coach when I was there, and great guy. But as TSU moves forward with the future of this, football program, it is a lot of excitement to see, and I'm really excited, and I cannot wait. So mark your calendar.
You got to look. He's doing something different. You got to shake things up sometimes.
Shake it all up. Here we go. All right, that's all the time we have for this edition of 3 Point Stance. We'll see you next week.